Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a lovely day so far. If you are new here, then welcome. My name is Millie. I make videos all about makeup, beauty, skincare, all of that good stuff. I am always filming hauls and try on videos, testing new products, all of that good stuff. So if that's the sort of thing that you are into, I would love it if you would subscribe down below. But today I am getting into my very first ColourPop order, and this is not how it arrived. It did arrive in a box. I placed this order in November and it arrived 2 days before Christmas, and when it arrived the box was completely soaking wet and completely shredded, and I was so sure that there were going to be things missing that I dived straight into it when it arrived. And then I set it aside once I realised all the products were there, because this is actually my Christmas present from my husband. I wanted some ColourPop items, and obviously I'm in the UK, so it's not worth just ordering like one thing, because the shipping, I don't even know what the shipping is. It's a ridiculous amount, and then it took 5 weeks to get here. So I've got a big order here. I've already got my base on, I've already got my brows on, I've already got my bronzer on, because I'm fairly certain I ordered a blush, but let's just get into it. Let's unwrap all of the bubble wrap. So there is bubble wrap within bubble wrap within bubble wrap. Thankfully, everything was wrapped really well, and I wasn't expecting these items to arrive quickly, but I was expecting them to still arrive in their box. So I was a little disappointed with that. Like, it did take just over 5 weeks to get to me, but like I say, the box was just completely shredded, and I know that obviously before Christmas all of the postal systems and everything were under a lot of pressure. I wasn't expecting these things to necessarily, like, I wasn't needing them to come before Christmas. Obviously it is now the 1st of January, the day that I'm filming this, it's the 1st of January, so this is like the first time I'm diving into all of this. So first up, I got 2 lip products. I got a Lippy Sticks in the shade Caramella, and then I got a blotted lip in the shade Bust. And I didn't get any like base products or anything, so I will just dive straight into whichever lip product I want. Even the end of this, I don't know how well you'll be able to tell, the end of this is all like, you can see where the rain got on it. I don't know if it was even left outside my house. I think it was delivered, I can't remember. So the blotted lip in the shade Bust is a really nice nudie brownie colour. Ooh, that's very creamy. I like that colour. That's really pretty. That's like my perfect nude. I would wear that every single day. And that almost feels like a lip balm. That feels really good. And then the Lippy Sticks in the shade Caramella is more pink. Ooh, that's very pink. And again, very like balmy, like a lip balm. I think I prefer that blotted lip, that first one. That is very pink, that Caramella shade. I wasn't expecting that to necessarily be as pink as it is. I mean, there's a time and a place for a bright pink lip. We'll see what I would go for, and then I'll get into that. So I got 3 Super Shock eyeshadows. I think that they were on some sort of offer. Honestly, it's so long ago since I ordered these, I can't remember what I ordered. So we're experiencing this together. We're experiencing it as a team. So I got 3, yes. So we've got Ripple, which is a beautiful purple. I will get into all of these, obviously. Then I got Mint For You, and I think I was expecting that to be a little bit lighter. Like, that looks more sort of turquoisey. I feel like that's coming up on camera quite well. I was expecting that to be more of like a really light mint. I'm sure I will use it either way. And the shade Peekaboo, which is more of a nudie, ivory, goldy sort of shade. So let's swatch these. And like I say, this is my first order from ColourPop. I have heard such amazing things about the Super Shock shadows, and I'm very excited. Ooh, that's creamy. That's like wiggling in the pot though. Should it be doing that? I don't know. Oh, that's really metallic. So the Peekaboo shade, that would look incredible just like all over the lid as like an icy, like highlightery sort of shade. Really like that. Okay, Mint for You is more of the shade that I was thinking it would be. So that's how it looks on the swatch, and that's how it looks in the pan. So that is quite a different colour, like swatched, than it looks in the container. I prefer how it looks swatched though. That's beautiful. And then lastly is Ripple. Oh, that looks beautiful. That's like lilac and blue shift. That's so pretty. Oh, that Ripple shade is my favourite one. And I don't even know if that's gonna show up necessarily, but that's like lilac and it shifts to like a baby blue. Oh, I really like that one. But of course I have eyeshadow palettes. I think I got 3. Let's see. First up I got a blush, so I will open this and probably put some of this on now because I'm feeling the need for a bit of blush. So this is the Super Shock blush in the shade Chiffon, and again this had like that sort of shift to it. Oh, they just feel like I don't know if I have anything that's this sort of texture. They're not like the e.l.f. putty blushes. They are more powdery feeling. They do feel like a powder, like a cream powder hybrid. They're really, really interesting. So that's the blush there. That almost looks more like a blush topper than just a straight up blush. So do I put a blush on and then put that over the top? I think I do. So let me just get into everything else first and then I will do that. So I got a liquid liner. This is in the shade Crazy and it's blue, navy blue. And these had fantastic reviews on the website. And I've actually been looking for like a navy indigo, sort of this colour, liner, liquid liner for quite a while. So let's just swatch this. Where shall I do it? Okay, so that's like spreading out into the like lines and stuff on my hand. I mean, it's a very intense colour, very, very liquidy. I don't think I would worry about that necessarily drying up. I would, however, worry about that going into like fine lines and things. Not sure how I feel about that. It's a really nice colour though. It's just blue enough where you could just wear that on like an everyday basis. I was maybe hoping that it would be a little bit brighter, a little bit more like my jumper, but either way, of course, we'll absolutely use it. Right, let's get into the eyeshadow palettes. Yep, so I've got 3. Like I say, it's not worth doing a small order on ColourPop if you're in the UK. So I started with the Sweet Talk Pressed Powder palette. And first up, how incredible is that packaging? That's so beautiful. So it's got all of the names on the back. I'm hoping it will also have the names on the inside of the packaging because ideally I wouldn't want to keep this. So that's what the inside packaging of the actual top of the palette looks like. The back, it does have all of the names. That's all foiled. That's so pretty. Oh wow. So inside it says ColourPop, you're pretty. I really, really like that. So these are all like pinky, goldeny tones, trying to get it so that it's not reflecting off my ring light. But how incredible do they look? Those glitters. The mattes look incredible as well. Shall we swatch a few? Let's do it. So, Prima Drama. Can you see that? That pan is like loose in there. Oh, I'm worried now. Do I not hold this up? Side to side. That looks more like a topper. And then let's do a matte shade as well. This one down in the bottom corner called ICYMI. Is that in case you missed it? I don't know what any of these like anagrams are meant to say. Okay, that glitter is incredible. That topper is also incredible. And the matte is very, very pigmented as well. So that is just one swatch. So that's the glitter, that one that I said that was more like a topper, and then the matte shade. That glitter is insane. That's almost got like a green undertone to it. I really hope you can see. feel like my lights are a bit bright. That's really, really pretty. That pressed glitter shade is almost reminding me of the Profusion glitters, in that it's got that like sort of Vaseline-y, creamy base to it, so it would just stick to your eyes, like you wouldn't need any base or anything. Really like that, so I can throw that away because the outside of the packaging has the names on it as well. Then I got All Amethyst, and as the name would suggest, this is an all purple palette. I love purple eyeshadows. I think that they are really flattering on blue eyes, which I have, and that's what it looks like inside. That middle shade is calling my name. So this is a really great selection of more like neutrally tones. Like you could absolutely, I'm losing my words. You could absolutely do something quite neutral just with a purple undertone rather than just a straight up completely wild purple look. You could definitely do something more everyday with this. I need to swatch this middle shade, Sunbird. So swatch that one and let's go for a Royal Affair. That Sunbird shade is beautiful. Don't mind that lipstick on my hand there. I'm already making a mess. Okay, that Sunbird shade, that duochrome one, is absolutely incredible. I've definitely done these swatches in like the wrong place to try and show you. Let's not talk about it. I mean, as I'm swatching them, they're right, and then as soon as I hold my arm up, I'm like, you can't see it. Okay, and then the last palette that I got came in its own like little envelope. I don't know why, but this is the Troublemaker palette, and there was one shade in this in particular, which is why I wanted this whole palette. So this is what the sleeve looks like, and then this is the palette. I absolutely love this. I am not somebody that necessarily reaches for cool tones all the time, but I've definitely been reaching for cool tones more recently. Don't mind that helicopter going across. Definitely been reaching more recently for cool tones since I got that Beauty Bay Neutrals palette. There's a lot of cool tones in that, and I get so much wear out of that. And I saw this, and this shade in particular, Real, looked so interesting in the pictures. So definitely going to swatch that one. Oh, that feels incredible. So then I will do Sus, this top one, that's a matte shade, and I will also do Cold Hearted, this one down on the bottom row. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. That Real shade, oh my god, I'm gonna live in that. The Sus shade, although it's light, it is very pigmented. Can you see the reflect, like the switch in that shade? This one, Real, that's incredible. Now I just need to decide what I want to put on my eyeballs today. And of course that's the difficult bit. So I'm going to take a little bit of putty blush first, just because if I'm going to be using pink sort of undertones on the eyes as well, I'm going to need something quite blushy on the skin. So this is the shade Turks and Caicos, which is more of a peachy, sort of orangey undertone. And I'll just tap that over the cheeks first, and then I'll get a clean brush and put that Super Shock over the top of it. So that's the brush that I used the e.l.f. putty blush with. I've got another one, so I'm not like cross-contaminating. I want to see how this picks up on the brush. Let me know. How does it even say on here how to use it? No, there's no instructions. It just says keep the magic in, close jar tightly after use, but there's nothing to say like use your hands, use a brush. So I'm gonna try a brush, but it doesn't seem to be picking anything up. Do I need to use my hands? Help? Oh, it is picking up. I just have to dig in quite a bit. So I'm already creating quite a big dent in the product. Not a problem, just saying. So let me just do one side, and then we'll see how glowy it is, how much colour it adds, all of that stuff. Okay, so that does almost look like a highlight. To me, it's definitely more of a topper. So if you see there, this is with the Super Shock and this is without. It's definitely glowy. It is a little chunky, glittery, but it's nice, it's fine. I'm a little bit underwhelmed with it. Like, the colour isn't necessarily coming off how I thought it would, but obviously this is like my very first impression. I've never tried a Super Shock blush before, I've never tried a Super Shock shadow before, so let me just even up the other side. I will just try and tap this on with my fingers. So I do want a little bit more colour than what it's giving me, but now that's just like patchy and glittery. Okay, so far not having a great time with ColourPop. If you have like a secret as to how to make this work, I mean, I'm gonna have to even it up on the other side now just so that I'm not completely wonky, but like how do I do this? Do I use a sponge? I could use a sponge. I don't have a damp sponge here, but is that what I need to do? Do let me know. Like I say, first time using it, I am completely unaware as to how I am meant to use this, so please be kind. So yeah, first impressions, don't love it, but I could absolutely use that on my eyes, couldn't I? That would be an incredible colour all over the eyes, and that sort of peachy tone is beautiful on blue eyes, so of course it will absolutely get used, but little bit underwhelmed with it as a blush. But not to worry, onwards and upwards. The reason I did this whole order was for the eyeshadows, so what do we want to do on the eyes? So I'm going to go in with the Sweet Talk palette first, and I will go in with Meadow, this matte shade here. Ooh, that's very pigmented on the brush. I like it. I also don't know why I was thinking that these palettes would have a mirror. I don't know why I thought that, but they don't. Which I suppose is better really, because then you can recycle it, can't you, when it hasn't got a mirror in it. So I'll just get up another mirror, tap off the brush, and I'll start working this through the crease. Okay, that is a lot more pigmented than I was expecting it to be. Wowzers, I love that shade. So that one dip has done my whole eyelid, my whole crease. Okay, noted. These are incredibly pigmented. So that one shade, that Meadow shade, is honestly like my perfect transition shade to really make my eyes pop. That sort of pinky, neutrally shade is so pretty on blue eyes. I feel like that's made my eyes really pop, but also it's subtle enough I could just put on a lick of mascara and be done. Obviously that's not what we're doing today, but that is the sort of shade that I could just whack on like this and be done. It's so pretty, but it's not too dark, not too light. That's perfect for my skin tone. I love that colour. So I'll go in with the same brush into that In Case You Missed It shade with the same brush, but just right on the very end, and I'm just going to keep that more on the outer corner just to add a little bit of depth out there. Okay, so those two have blended together like an absolute dream. Obviously they are quite similar, like it's more like the same colour but just slightly deeper, so I knew that they were going to work well together. So I will go in again with the same brush right on the end into this darkest shade, just the tiniest little bit, and I just want a tiny little bit more depth out here. But this is more of like a purpley undertone, which, as we know, I love on blue eyes anyway, but I just want a little bit darker out there to add a bit of drama. So even though I'm not going anywhere, I want to look good in the living room, okay? Okay. So that's all of those matte shades. I really like how they're blending. I'm having absolutely no problems blending them. The colours are staying really nice and pigmented. I'm a really big fan of this formula so far. Obviously I've only tested 3 and I've only tested matte shades, but I want to use Garden Date on the top row here. That looks like a duochrome sort of shade, and obviously that's what I love. So I'm going to use my finger, just dip into that. That almost looks like orangey, like it's peachy, orangey. Pretty. So I keep picking up this thinking it's going to have a mirror in it. It still doesn't have a mirror in it. This does, however, so I'll just tap this. Oh my gosh, that colour is so pretty. I hope that's coming off on camera. How incredible that is. Can you see that colour? That's so pretty. That almost feels like a cream eyeshadow. That last shade that I've just put all over the lid, that feels incredible. And I absolutely love the undertone of that shade. It's bright, like it is quite a bright orangey pink. However, how incredible does that look? It's making my eyes look the bluest they've ever looked. And I'm so here for it. Right, let's take a teeny tiny little brush, and I want an inner corner highlight. So I'm going to go into that side to side shade that I swatched on my hand, and let's pop that in there. Yeah, that'll do. It's glittery, but yeah, that will do. I'm just going to tap that with my finger actually, because I think it's that sort of shade where it will work better. Yeah, with the finger rather than a brush. Just tap that into what we've already got on the lid. Oh, pretty. And then, why not? We're here. Let's put that one. That Prima Drama. Let's just put a tiny bit of that, carefully, over the centre. Yeah. Just like that. We're kind of going overkill just for an evening on the sofa. I don't mind. I do not mind at all. That's the kind of gal that I am. That Prima Drama shade is incredible. Just take it up to the brow. Why not? We've gone from just doing something like soft and pink to glitter all over. I do not mind that. Right, let me go off and do some mascara, maybe some sort of liner. Let's wait and see, and then I'll be back and do some sort of lipstick. Alright then, so I've just put on one layer of mascara because I didn't want to cover up any of that incredible colour. I also just ran a tiny little bit of black pencil liner through the upper waterline. I feel like before I move on to anything else, I need more blush. I don't like how that blush is looking. I think I'm just going to keep that as like another eyeshadow. I feel like that's where I would get my use out of that colour. But let's just add a bit more of that e.l.f. Putty blush, and then I will decide on the lipstick. I think I'm probably leaning more towards the blotted lip, that more browny one, just because obviously there's a lot of pink going on, and I don't want it to look comical. Although I'm not going anywhere, like I keep saying, I feel like that's what will look best, so we'll probably go for that one. Yeah, I feel like that colour will be best. So the blotted lip in the shade Bust. These smell nice. What do these smell like? These smell like something from my childhood. I'm not mad about it. It's almost like a sweet. It's a really, really nice smell. I do like it. And I do like that colour. Oh, I did choose well. I'm just going to smudge out the edges because I didn't get a lip liner. I really like that. That's really comfortable. It doesn't feel too glossy. When I first swatched that, I said that that was feeling like a balm, like a gloss, and it does feel like that. But it's not at all sticky. I don't feel like my hair would get stuck in that. It doesn't feel like the most long-lasting colour, but I really like how that feels. It's really comfortable. A really nice amount of colour as well, like it's not too pigmented. I am a big fan. I'm a big fan of how this has turned out. The only thing that wasn't maybe quite how I wanted was the blush. I'm also a little worried about that liquid eyeliner, but everything else, absolutely everything else, I'm so impressed with. If you want to see full like deep dives into any of these products, any of the other two palettes, or even this palette, like if you want to see a full like swatch and everything of this one, if there's anything that you want to see more information on, then do let me know down below. I'm more than happy to do a deep dive into any of these products. Just let me know. If you are new here, I would love it if you would consider subscribing. If you have enjoyed this video, I would love it if you would give it a big thumbs up. But until next time, thank you so much for watching. Bye!